The Bay Area's rock station. 107.7 The Bone.
107.7 The Bone. That is OTEP in the Metal Zone with Warhead. OTEP is going to be coming to town. They're playing March 30th at the DNA Lounge with Bury Your Dead, Through the Eyes of the Dead, Dystrophy, and Arise. Those tickets are on sale now at DNALounge.com. And we had Machine Head before that with Davidian, Metallica, Trapped Under Ice. My favorite Metallica song, and partly because in an episode of Death Clock, when Toki's dad dies, Toki's dad is trapped under ice for like a second.
Yes.
And knowing Brendan Small as little as I do, I feel like deep in my heart that was in his head when he wrote that.
Oh, for sure.
God, I love him.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
In the studio with me is Brian Posehn, co-writer on Death Clock, Sonoma native, metalhead, comedian, actor. You do a lot of stuff. Kind of awesome. And doing stand-up at Cobb's Comedy Club all this weekend in San Francisco, cobbscomedyclub.com to pick up those tickets. So being in the Bay Area, growing up in the Bay Area like we all did, you have to have a Metallica story. Like I saw James and Lars at the Bullet Boys at the Stone.
Really?
I know. And I just was like,
I hope they were
Metallica's
there
at
throwing
such a gay
stuff.
show? Such a gay show. Metallica's sitting in the front.
Weird. Yeah, because I always thought they were against that. But
I think it's because Dean Del Rey's band was opening. I'm hoping that they
okay.
were there to support Dean, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I saw them at Accept and Loudness, and that's where this story. Well, James wasn't very nice to us, and I talk about other bands like when bands are mean to me. Like Chris Holmes was not cool to me from Wasp, and then I hardly ever listen to Wasp ever again. And then there's a band that you just played a little while ago. Then the guy that I wrote More Metal Than You about, really not a nice guy, and I'll never ever listen to his band. But Metallica was not cool to me at all, and yet I still stayed a fan. Like
really?
James Hetfield, I was 16 and I was with these other kids. We'd come down
Not
from
girls.
Sonoma.
Not girls.
No, two other guys, and we all had like the half hair and like the brand new leather jackets. We're kids. We're 16 and 17, and we looked like posers, I guess, but we were like super into it. And that's at a point where maybe only 50,000 people knew who Metallica even was. You know, like their numbers were so low. It was after the first record. It was before they had gone to Elektra and before they'd recorded, Ride the Lightning. And we were at this show, and they just played. We'd come down to San Francisco to see them play the Kabuki, and then we came back to see this other show at the Kabuki. I think it was Accept and Loudness and a couple other bands. And they're there, and we freak out. We go, oh, this is our chance to go talk to our new favorite band, these gods of the city, you know? And we go over and to Kirk Hammett. I'm like, hey, man, you shred. And he right away is being sarcastic. He's like, I don't shred. I'm not a cook. And just made me feel like a douche. But he was at least funny about it, you know? And then we go up to James, and my friends are too nervous to talk, and they're starting a band. So I'm kind of I'm not going to be in the band, but I'm kind of the spokesperson for my friend's band. And I'm like, hey, these guys are starting a band. What do you think we should call them? And he looks at the three of us, Hetfield, and just goes, almost. Because we were posers, and it's just, we're crushed. We drive home to Sonoma, just like our new hero just completely destroyed us with one word. Like, he just looked at us and just didn't even have enough time to completely burn us and just go into it. He just one word and then looked away. And, like, Cliff laughed. Cliff was there, and it's just,
shut up.
It's just this moment of, like, oh, my God, we just got totally burned by our hero. And I'd love to be able to end that story and go, and I never listen to Metallica again. But instead, I've listened to them for 25 years, and they've got a lot of my money.
But have you? I mean, you've talked to him since then, right?
Yeah, and then the best thing was the first time I met him since then, when I met James as an adult, and he was still drinking at the time. And I met him at a VH1 thing, and I was with Scott Ian, and so I figured, oh, this is cool.
I'm in.
Scott's my in, you know. Scott will go up, he'll tell him I'm not a poser and I'm a cool guy and all this. And Scott goes, hey, this is a guy, he grew up in the Bay Area, he's got a funny story about you. And so I tell James the story, and he just listens to this story, and he goes, yeah, that sounds like me. And then he walks away. I'm like, twice, man?
Wow.
Twice in one life? You burn
I think
me
you
in
need
the
to be
same
one of his
way?
12 steps.
Yeah, he really needs to apologize
he needs to
me.
make amends.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Exodus is on the way. It's 107.7 The Bone with Brian Posehn in the Metal Zone.
107.7 The Bone.
Streaming online at 1077thebone.com.